Just before we go on, one issue arising out of the Diocesan Council report, which I should have brought as a communication earlier. In a previous synod, from the floor, the issue was raised about glebes and BER assessments. Even though they are not houses that are let in the normal sense, it would be good stewardship and assist select vestries if there were BER assessments regularly done on them. This was relayed as the view of this diocese to the RB, and their property committee have written back earlier this month saying it is recommended that BER/EPC assessments are embedded into the quinquennial inspection process for all residential properties as per the suggestion by the Diocese of Cashel, Ferns and Ossory. So just to relay to you, sometimes the RB realises that we talk a lot of sense and they follow suit. I want to suspend standing orders for a moment. Reference has been made already to the forthcoming retirement of Denise Hughes, although she won't quite be leaving us. She'll be training in Elizabeth Keys, whom we welcome. She'll be still around with the Sea House Committee and with the Magazine and Media Committee, but nevertheless, this is something of the end of an era in the life of the diocese, as has already been eloquently articulated by Mrs. Jacob in her speech, and I've said something myself in my contribution to the Book of Reports, and I will reiterate that in the Diocesan Magazine in the coming months, and other people have said it too. I won't pile up words because words wouldn't be adequate. We would love to be having a large function, as Denise richly deserved, in a packed function room where many people who've worked with you, past and present, would gather and enjoy your company and offer their good wishes and share in the warmth of the expressions of gratitude. But at this stage, we can't do that. But what we can do is to offer you some little gifts. Seriously, Denise, just before we offer you these tokens, may I personally, on behalf of us all, say we cannot express properly our debt to you, how you have looked after 6 bishops, how you have looked after the needs of the diocese. And I rang up my predecessor, John Neal, yesterday, because I kind of wanted him to be part of this too, as the other surviving bishop who'd worked with you. And he would have been, of course, at the function if we had one. And I asked him just to give me a few words that said it all. And in his usual neatly phrased way, he said of you, extremely loyal, always willing, and totally confidential. Extremely loyal, always willing, and totally confidential. And I couldn't say it better. And like him, I'll always be very thankful for your support and your friendship and your kindness. And as I say, you have been the office. So what I want to do is, with Rita's help, first of all, I want to say, I would like to thank the parishes for a very generous response, understandably generous, from parishes and individuals. And we've had some lovely words in from people who served with you for long periods in the past, like, for example, Lord Rathdownall, and we'll have some words from him in the Diocesan Magazine next month. But people have been, as individuals and parishes, very generous. And as a result of that, we have some gifts to give you. First of all, of course, there are flowers, and there is a hamper which Rita has very cleverly arranged, which is entirely containing produce that comes in various types of produce. Do come and have a look, from various places and sources in this diocese. And there's a list there of all the things that are there. And then there is also within the hamper something that looks like a bottle, and that's really for the benefit of your long-suffering and kind spouse, as much as for yourself.
I have a little share as well.
And I just want to mention 2 things that you're not being given, but will be here long after you. We are getting a nice picture of you that will adorn the wall here with other pictures in this office. and also we've been arranged, and this could be done in people's lifetime, I assure you. We're arranging to have a bench made so that we can sit outside the office and have our lunch, and it'll be the Denise Hughes bench, and that'll be here forevermore. But just two other things. First of all, this really is in a way the special token. This is a silver pendant which has been specially commissioned from Rudolf Helsen, and you might like to look inside it and even open the box, because some of your admirers and friends put a lot of thought into this, and it is a wondrous version of an Episcopal amethyst. If you could hold it to the camera to show your work with 6 bishops, but it's better than the amethyst that any bishop would ever have had.
Which one?
Perfect, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
And finally,
Glasses off now. Sorry.
and finally, we were going to, obviously there is a lot of change, and we were going to give you a travel voucher, knowing how you love distant travels and to exotic destinations, but in present circumstances it's probably better to give you, as it were, the money. And we hope you might be able to spend it on travel and go traveling with Ivan, or enjoy it with your grandchildren, and that. But we haven't closed the amount yet, because people are still contributing, and they can do so via Rita, and they needn't be so discreet about it now, because we were trying to keep it from you in the last couple of weeks. So I would ask people, actually, can you all unmute yourselves? And I'm going to do a cyber hip hip hooray. Can we all be unmuted? And even so, I would, as we offer these gifts, can I suggest that wherever we are, mutually, audibly, we give Denise Hughes 3 cheers. Hip hip.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Thank you all.
Hooray!
If Denise wants to say a word.
What your
He was very short. Okay. Unmute everybody. Okay, I'm kind of stuck for words now. I mean, this was all just
Waiting for yourself, Karen.
foisted on me. It's really unbelievable. I have to say, I don't think words are enough, really, but I must have enjoyed working here all the time. And the last, I suppose it's 6 or 7 years since we moved into this lovely office. It's been the best office I've ever worked in. I've worked in some dingy places, some nice places. In fact, I worked in Geneva in the World Council of Churches, and that was very modern at the time. But this was just, it has a lovely feeling about it. It's peaceful, and thank you all very much. And I want to say thank you to Rita for the last couple of years. She came in, and she, you know, things were increasing, all sorts of things were gathering up, this charities, all sorts of, whatever you want to say, GDPR, etc., etc. And we shared it together. Now, I suppose in the last few weeks, I've kind of taken a back seat, but she's a wonderful person to work with, and I want to say thank you very much. I want to say, of course, thank you to all the bishops, really. They've all been very supportive of me. And when I was being interviewed by Margaret Hawkins, she tried to draw me a little bit, but I certainly was not going to give it on any of them. I said there's lots of ups and downs, there's scandals and there's good times, and they all go in one ear and out the other. And now I just want to say thank you to everybody indeed for being so very, very generous. And I want to wish my successor, Liz, all the very best. I'm sure she'll be, I don't know what to say about you, but she'll be very good, and all the very best. Thank you very much, everybody.
Now we'll resume standing orders after that joyful highlight of the Synod. We were all looking forward to that, and you've no idea the amount of going up and down to the jewelers, and Rita and I looking at jewellery on the screen.
And hiding all the letters.
Yes. When we broke for lunch, we had just been at the point where we were dealing with the various presentations from people involved in various educational sectors, which I think people found very enjoyable and informative. the issue now was before the reports of the various boards and their re-elections are put, whether anybody had come into the chat box wanting to say anything on educational matters. And did that happen? I don't think so. Okay.